But hey, it came back enough to do this, and I didn't lose it over nothing negative. So yeah, but man, when I tell you, I'm glad that we had a Wednesday. Like Empire Maker mentioned it, and I said at the last moment that I was gonna do it. And I just want to say this to the fam, that we really have already entered into that other world that they say two worlds exist on this planet we call Earth. And we have entered into that other world because we are the ones who have learned how to properly claim our life back. And I'm saying claim our life because property is how we claim our life back. By claiming our property is how we claim our life back. And with that being said, it explained a lot to me how we was able to take the houses. We took the houses, mute your mic. We took the houses because they actually have to possess. And possession is the highest form of ownership. Never forget that. So for those who got their car, if you possess the car, you own the car. And matter of fact, we can go even deeper. You're the only one who invested in the car because the car was given to you from your signature. The house, when you're selling it to someone else. For everybody who took their property, you can actually sell your property the same way you claimed it. So we are actually stepped into the realm of freeing ourselves from slavery because burden and debt is a part of slavery. And I wanted to share a story. Chloe, you here? You and Keith here?
Yes. So each time we went, I asked more and more questions. By the time we got to about the fourth or fifth time, we were just asking questions. They kept giving us the runaround. So I asked the lady, I then asked her, what is the issue? I can't keep coming back up here expecting my paper to be recorded if I don't know what is wrong with it. She kept saying that the wording in were just something they weren't used to. They were only used to agricultural liens and that they've never seen anything like this before. So it kind of flustered me because they were going based off their inexperience to something that was new. So, I asked to speak to the supervisor. The supervisor was a male, and he just pretty much wanted to be an asshole. He didn't really want to explain, he said they had to take it to legal counsel. And I said, okay, how long does that take? He said 2 to 6 weeks. I said, that is crazy. And, he was telling me that I had to read up on the attorney general's, pretty much their statutes, their guidelines for how. So I asked to speak to someone higher up. He brings down the chief deputy. And as I'm waiting for her, I read over the Texas General, whatever, Attorney General, whatever he told me to look up, that's what I looked up. And I had read over it that fast. Nothing in their guideline said that I was outside of their guidelines and that what I had submitted didn't technically qualify. Everything that I had did qualified. They use this term super generic for terms that, like debtor and all the debtor's assets, they try to avoid, or they won't record if it says stuff like that, I guess. But that was about it. The paperwork didn't say that. So the chief deputy comes down. She tells me, oh, we have to take this to legal. So, I let them take it to legal. A week or so goes by. I don't hear anything. And this is Monday now. So I come back Monday. I changed all the information that they asked. I took out the supervisor before I get to Monday, or Monday actually. When I spoke to her, I said, what is the issue? Just tell me what is wrong. when she said all the extra, she said it was just too much wording. I was like, well, I was just trying to make sure I covered my bases and that nobody could dispute or come after me or, you know, whatever. She was like, well, if you just put down the description of the address, you know, that's what we're used to. And I said, oh, you guys made it seem like this was unheard of, but you're used to it. You're just not used to there being so much in the collateral. Got it. So I went home, changed it, took out all the extra wording that they, you know, didn't understand, and just simply put the description of the address, and came back Tuesday. Tuesday, you know, they tried to tell me that, oh, well, she told me it looked fine. The only thing I needed to add it was, you know, the county that I'm from. And then when she spoke to the chief deputy again, she said that the two entities looked the same, and that because up top it was, you know, your name on the UCC one, your name, executor and beneficiary, it looked like two entities, and that there was no distinction between the two. I said that, you know, that's not true because the EINs clearly state that. Oh, well, they have the same address. Oh, okay. So two entities can't exist in the same place. No, they can't. But I have to ask my legal counsel that to make sure. Okay. So yesterday she told me that she would give me a phone call at the end of the day. Now, they've already told me they would call me, but they didn't call me from the last time they gave it to legal. So she said she would call me at the end of the day yesterday. Lady never called me, so I was heated. Came back today. This time I recorded the entire process because, you know, I was just so over everyone's BS. And so I go in there today. I speak to that little lady who the clerks ran to look over the information. You know, she was trying to act lost, like she really didn't know what was going on. And then the male supervisor comes, and then once again, he tries to brush me off like, oh, we can't accept it, you know, and then he gives me his card with the paperwork back and tells me that we can't accept it, or, you know, we have to take it to legal. And I'm not going through this again. You guys told me every time I come up here, you guys tell me it has to go to legal counsel. I've been sitting here watching other transactions, and I've not seen anyone go to the lady in the middle, nor has anybody gone to the upper echelon and went to legal counsel as far as their paperwork. So I'm trying to figure out why, you know, my paperwork is being treated like this. You guys are going based off previous transactions instead of treating me like a new transaction. I came in here and I changed the information. I did what you asked me to do. And now you're still giving me hell. So after I spoke to the little lady and the supervisor, the chief deputy comes down again. This is where I pull out my phone. And, you know, we kind of go back and forth. She even threatened to kick me out of the building. And that's when I had mentioned to her, like, I'm glad I'm recording this. You know, you don't want to do your job, and now you're threatening to kick me out. Awesome. I'm glad I'm recording. So I think that kind of made her nervous because she started, you know, she was a little shaky. Her voice was trembling. And, you know, she had every excuse as to why they didn't want to do it. And then I said, nobody here read it. You didn't read it. You know, the supervisor didn't read it. You guys are just quick to reject and not see the changes that have been made that you told me to change. So she finally looked over the paperwork and said, oh, well, no one told me that, the information had been changed. I said, my point exactly. Nobody wants to do their job. Everybody here is afraid to do their job. You know, and if you don't do your job, you will lose your job for not doing your job. And so she went over it, and I'm like, and told her to record this as well. And that was it. I had to pretty much get a little buck in there to get the results that I had been, you know, trying to get all along. But we got it. So